So here I am in like a barren wasteland, like my dating life. I don't know. Oh, voicemail coming in. I was trying to find a state marker, and this is where my car's handy dandy navigation system took me to. Once again, trying to lead me into random places unsuccessfully. So overall, it ended in I think the overall weekend was a positive, but I feel really drained. And days like this when I'm really glad that I'm out on the road because it clears my head and kind of grounds me in a very trying not to be cliche way. Anyway, I'm always grateful for taking leaps and adventures and just seeing where it takes me. I'd rather live a full life even with all the bumps and random places it takes me that's not necessarily where I want to be, but I'd rather be somewhere than nowhere at all. Speaking of cliches, I'd rather be living the full life than living a Groundhog Day existence of doing the same thing, same day on repeat every day. So I'm glad to be alive anyway. Good friend of mine, it was her birthday yesterday, passed away last December unexpectedly, and it just puts things into focus, and it's super sad, but it's also makes you realize how precious life is, and somehow we got to make it through all these challenges that hit us, and it's worth it. Okay, so I made it. I know a lot of my videos are about me getting lost. Don't judge. This is, I don't remember what it was called, the State Territory Park. This is where Utah used to have its government located, and this is what it should look like. It shouldn't look like that random rocky road, crossroads with weeds. GPS, I swear they do it on purpose. If it was a kit car, it'd be laughing at me as it takes me to random places. Anyway, and I had a thought, my cute little car, and I had a thought, an additional thought about my weekend. I think that, and as I'm saying that, I have another thought. I have a dating thought, or a life thought, about life taking us through weeds and into weeds, and we just have to keep going, and eventually we'll end up in the land of plenty. But no, my other thought about the weekend was, I think it's one of the difficult life lessons that it's so easy when you have a negative experience to throw out all the positive experiences with it. And I think I've said before that it's so important to learn how to have joys alongside the challenges, but even in retrospect, it's important to appreciate the joys alongside the negative experiences. And sometimes it's really hard when you've gone through something really, really terrible, traumatic life events, childhood events. Sometimes you just want to close it off, and you might have to for a time, but I think as we grow and develop, it's important to develop a capacity to see everything as a whole and for what it is, and for its individual parts as well. So, Deep Thoughts by Caroline. Okay, so here's another little life thought about built with pride, leaving your mark on, well, these people who left their marks in the buildings that they built, or at least this particular one. You know, what are we doing to leave our mark in the world around us? What are we doing to help each other's lives, leave our branding, our mark, our touch on the lives of those around us? A friend of mine recently shared with me a poem, and part of it was asking whether you feel, oh gosh, how did they put it? Do you feel it when others bleed? And I think it's so important in life to develop a compassion for other people and to learn to serve other people, and to go out of your way to even do something small to make someone else's day just a little bit easier, a little bit lighter. to make sure people feel taken care of. But we should always be doing stuff to kind of mark the world around us and mark the people around us, not to leave our legacy, so to speak, but to make it worthwhile that we walk the earth, to make it worthwhile that we are in people's lives, that we're not always just taking, but we are giving more than we're taking from other people. And I truly believe, and I find that the more that we give to other people, the more that they want to give back to us. And so it absolutely comes full circle. And the more you do it with genuineness, is that a word? Genuineness? The more you do it from a deep place in your heart, the more people appreciate it and feel loved for it, and the more that they do want to give that back. And everyone should feel loved, everyone should feel cared about, everyone should feel like they matter in the world, and I think it's up to us to make sure that happens. And you know, we all feel that way too. And the more that we lift other people, leave our mark on other people, the more that, because we're all interconnected, that we all lift as a group. Okay, so the next time you feel like your house is too small, take a moment to think about what you're comparing that against. You know, modern society, our first world country, the race to the top, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a decent home and roof over your head, but there's also something to be said for gratitude for what you do have and not being apologetic about whatever you feel like you lack, because we truly do have so much more than so many people have throughout history and even today. Okay, I was able to find one of the signatures on the building. Ah, see if I can, sorry, I'm trying to hold it steady. Yeah, I don't think you can with the glare of the sun. It's at the very top stone. There's a W, J, I think. It's kind of hard to make out from here and even worse on the phone, but it's there, I promise. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. Oh, here's another one, I can see it better. The third stone down, it looks like a JPC. Oh yeah, the block letters, very pretty. Love it. So I have a couple more stops before I get home tonight. The first is going to a homeless outreach, a makeover outreach, where a big group of people, LDS singles, generally get together and do hair, hair cutting, color, makeup, clothes, just everything to help make over people who don't have access to those things because of lack of funds. And it's not gonna, you know, maybe change lives. It can change lives, because I know people I've talked to in the past have said that they're gonna use their new looks to get a new apartment, to go for a job interview. So it certainly does help. But if nothing else, it also boosts people for the day and makes them feel like people and not just, you know, ignored structures on the side of the road. Anyway, so here I go. And I'm not signed up to do anything, but I'm just gonna take some video and maybe help spread the word that way. barbecue in Tooele, so that'll be fun. Barbecue and some hot tubbing.